Good evening. This is Evening News on Remote TV. I am Annie Baba Bekelolua. First, to national news. There seems to be uneasiness in Ebonyi State following the shooting of two soldiers and a civilian at a checkpoint in the state. The incident, which occurred on Monday night, revealed that an gunman shot the two soldiers and a civilian at a checkpoint on the Timber Junction area in the Afikpo North local government area of the state. Those injured as a result of the incident were rushed to an undisclosed hospital for treatment, while the deceased were deposited at the hospital. The Vanguard gathered that the victims were attacked at about 8:48 p.m. on the penultimate day, as their rifles were reportedly carted away. Other soldiers at the checkpoint ran inside the bush for safety. A community source, on condition of anonymity, said the gunmen arrived to checkpoint in a white bus, and as the military men stopped them for a search, he opened fire on them. Still on national news, President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday night met with the Borno State Governor, Prof. Babagana Zulum, on the security situation in his state. The president also met with the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and the pioneer interim national chairman of the party, Chief Bisi Akande, in State House. President Buhari's meeting with the Borno State Governor was held at the official residence in Presidential Villa. The agenda of the meeting was not made public. It is assumed that it is not unconnected with the recent worsening security situation in Borno State. Besides, the agenda of the meeting with chieftains of APC, Asiwaju Tinubu, and Pa Bisi Akande was also not made public. On local news, a fatal accident involving two trailers, two tricycles, popularly called Keke Napep, with a black Toyota Corolla has left not fewer than 6 people dead at the early hours of today. The accident happened along SAGAMU BENIN Expressway, directly in front of SAGAMU Ikbero interchange. According to eyewitness, the accident was caused by two impatient Keke Napep drivers who crossed the road abruptly on an oncoming trailer who tried to avoid an accident but unfortunately collided with another trailer on the other side of the road. The casualties were said to have been transported to Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, SAGAMU, Ogun State. On local news, a Nigerian woman believed to be in her 50s revealed that her husband has repeatedly stopped her from starting any small business that could earn her income, although he allegedly doesn't provide her money for the upkeep of the house. She disclosed that her husband, whose name is not made public yet, has sometimes locked up her goods in the toilet to prevent her from carrying out her business. A predicament shared by Auntie Landa on her Instagram page, and it has left many users of the platform heartbroken. She said her husband always prevents her from doing business. Each time she starts doing something, the husband will not give the children upkeep, and finally he ends up locking her goods inside the toilet. It resulted in beating her when she demanded her good. In the process of the man beating her, their dog bit her on the leg. The neighbors rushed her to the hospital, and the aftermath of the drug prescribed is the swollen eyes. On international news, Chad's new military junta on Monday appointed a transitional prime minister who called for a nationwide effort to speed the return to civilian rule, suspended after the shock battlefield death of veteran leader Idris Deby Itno. The so-called Transitional Military Council, led by Deby's 37-year-old son, Mahamat, named Herbert Pahimi Padak, a distant runner-up in April 11 presidential polls as prime minister. It was the last premier under Deby, and heads a government whose members will be named or revoked by the younger Deby. I call on all Chadians to not delay, to not lose time, to join together right away, to lay the groundwork for free and transparent elections within the timetable, he said, referring to the 18 months pledged by the junta. The United States voiced cautious optimism over his appointment, with Robert Kodek, the acting top US diplomat for Africa, calling it potentially a positive first step. The TMC group's 15 generals close to the late president will won praise abroad for his leadership fighting jihadists in the vast and volatile Sahel. On sport news, former Blackburn striker Chris Sutton has accused the Professional Football Association chief of having blood on his hands. But Taylor told MPs in a parliamentary hearing into conclusions in sports, "We've never been asleep on it. We are frustrated by the initial research, the data was not there." Taylor, who is due to leave the PFA in June after 40 years in charge, said that when it found the correct data, which led to the landmark field study published by Dr. Willie Stewart in 2019, it led to the best evidence in the world. But he has been criticized by the likes of Sutton, who lost his football playing father to dementia, and Dawn Astle, daughter of former West Brom striker Jeff, who was ruled to have died from a brain injury more commonly linked to boxing. They say that the union was too slow to act after Astle died, aged 59 in 2002. That is all we have for evening news on Remo TV. You can follow us on every of our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as Official Remo TV. You can also visit our website at www.remotv.com.ng. I remain Anibaba Bekelulua. Good night.